Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Bodacious Rant. Welcome. This is Burn and Rye here. We're doing some woo. Sorry, we're talking about a very special movie, and I'm sure for wrestling fans, if that wasn't obvious enough, then I apologize for insulting that culture. I never really watched wrestling. I just know Ric Flair. But anyways, hope everyone's doing good. And before let's just get into it. We are going to be talking about the latest A24 movie. I think the one that's probably received the most positively as of late, just because I think I saw something that's got the highest rated audience score, something like that, from A24. So great stuff. And it is the newest movie, The Iron Claw, starring Zac Efron, Cole McElhenney, Jeremy Allen White, and I forgot the other brother's name.
Harris Dickinson.
Harris Dickinson. Thank you, Bern. And this is a non-spoiler review as always, so don't worry about that. Definitely, I'm saying this right now, you all have to go see this in theaters. This is super good. Bring box of tissues, though, because it's a lot. But other than that, please do not forget to give us a like, ring the bell, and, of course, subscribe. We do appreciate you all, and, we're going to let's go into 2024 with all the good vibes. So, anyways. So this is basically a biopic on the Von Erich brothers, or Von Erich family in wrestling, from their kind of humble beginnings and coming from, Texas and stuff in the NWF, I believe. I forgot what their wrestling league was called, but essentially you just kind of follow their rise to fame, downfall, essentially, in their lives. And man, it was a very heavy movie. I didn't realize how heavy it was going to be when I watched it. But man, it was so good. I think, and Zac Efron, he's a beast. This movie, he's always been in good shape. Especially in Neighbors, that's one of the few where I'm like, man, he's incredible. This one's a whole different level. He just looks like a human Hulk, essentially. But before I keep going on, Bern, what was your reaction to this movie? What did you think about it?
I mean, yeah, coming into it, I was pretty excited by the trailer for it. Like you, I really don't have any familiarity with the world of wrestling, especially in the 70s and 80s where this movie takes place and these characters were all around during the time. I'm more familiar with the early 2000s stuff, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and even then it's very vague knowledge. I never sat down and watched it, so I always appreciated it from afar. Them being these ridiculous stuntmen that do live performances every night when also playing characters. It's a craft that I definitely admire and tip my hat to, and we've definitely gotten a lot of movie stars from the world of wrestling, so that's definitely an art unto itself. But so coming into this, I didn't know of the true story of the Von Erich family, and I intentionally stayed away from it just so I can kind of see this movie on its own terms. I have since looked up a lot of the things that have happened, and you see where the movie's sort of where it's accurate, where it's sort of taking a little bit liberties here and there, but I'm definitely glad I went to go see it, just sort of clear-minded and stuff. So with that being said, this is definitely the feel-bad movie of the year, probably. Such a heartbreaking tale, and looking into it, all the stuff that if this did really happen, did this all happen this way? And for the most part, yes, and that was makes it even more heartbreaking. The things that these characters go through, as you mentioned, the rise and the fall of their family. The movie depicts it so well that you're on the journey with these characters, and in particular Kevin Von Erich, played by Zac Efron. We're kind of seeing this world through his eyes, and it's just so devastating at every turn, and it makes you think all this stuff can't really happen to a particular group of people, and it's just, you just feel for them, and the movie does a good job of showing you that and showing you their journey and their struggles, and despite that, still trying to push forward, and trying to go through all these different heartbreaks. It's a testament to the human spirit, but also eye-opening in the fact of things we don't really consider when it comes to sports and life in sports, and the toll that takes on not only you but your family as well. It's just a real big indictment on all those things, and I thought the movie just portrayed that so well.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those stories, there's no way this can happen to one family, and it was just, like you said, Bern, tragedy after tragedy. So that was hard to watch, but It was also good, kind of like it's very subtle. I feel like in the movie where it's kind of like the whole jab at like toxic masculinity or kind of like poking the holes in it because Colt McElhenney's character, he's a very old school like Texas dad. No, I mean not just to Texas, but just like an old school American dad, really, where it's kind of like pull yourself up, all like you're on your own kind of thing. And I'm glad that this movie really showed the negative effects of that, that can do to a family. And needless to say, everyone brings the hammer to this movie. It's Zac Efron. This is easily my favorite, performance he's done. And given I've never seen High School Musical, all that stuff, so I'm sure he's good in other movies. I know he's kind of done some dramas in recent years, but this one I feel like definitely should get him a nomination at least, because it was so good, such a transformation for him, and with the support of Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, he's great. You said Harris Dickinson from The Kingsman, which definitely I don't think did him justice. This is the movie for him. He definitely deserves something for this. Colt McElhenney as the dad, great job. The most recent thing I saw him in was Wrath of Man from a couple years ago with Jason Statham. He was good in that one too, but definitely not like anywhere near this caliber of acting. Maura Tierney was in it. I kind of wish she was in it more, but it kind of plays onto the whole affect the dynamics of the family in this movie, and it was just kind of sad for that. And Lily James, great job on her part too. She's great, beautiful, knows how to really just sell everything. The emotional anchor for Zac Efron in this movie, really, and it was just a lot of tough moments between them two, but mostly Zac Efron. And having said all that, I'm definitely going to give this movie a hard 4 out of 5. Almost a 5, but it's just so damn sad. It's kind of hard to give it that 5, but it does end on like a bittersweet note. And yeah, just such a great movie. I don't know. I'll definitely need a break before I want to watch it again because, like I said, it gets pretty emotional, but so great, just all around.
Yeah, one of those like really good movies that is going to be tough to definitely rewatch because of all those reasons that you just mentioned. But yeah, a great shout out to Maura Tierney and Lily James. Both playing the women in this family. That married into it, and it's interesting how they depicted their two very different approaches to how they handle these men in their lives and the family, and like how they're going through this basically this series of turmoil. I thought that they did an excellent job in sort of rounding out the experience in terms of like perspective and stuff. So I think they did a really good job there. But yeah, this is definitely Zac Efron's movie. I grew up watching him on Disney Channel stuff, like you mentioned, High School Musical and other things that he did here and there. And this is something that I've been wanting to see from him for a while. Not to say that his comedy roles and Neighbors weren't good, because he was excellent in those and he did a good job. But he's been trying over the years to get into the more dramatic roles here and there, and to varying success. Where he's either not that great or the role isn't that great in it. So to see him sort of get a leading role in an A24 movie, and to take on this this physicality of this character, he's mentioned how working out for movies like Baywatch almost like broke him. So I'd be very interested to see what he says about what he had to do for this role. But just to fully immerse himself into this character, he did an excellent job, and he does carry this movie on his shoulders, and those are pretty big shoulders. So he did a good job of that. So like you mentioned, all around the cast was great. I will say, yeah, there were points in probably for the second half of the movie for me where it just felt less like a movie and more just like a series of tragedies, like more documentary-esque, where we're just kind of hitting bullet points. So I thought the pacing of the first half of the movie was a little bit stronger than the pacing of the second half. I would have liked to see a little bit more digging into the business side of the family, maybe some more interactions from them and their father, and training, and sort of like getting into the meat and potatoes of like what running this business is like. It feels like the second half sort of strayed a little bit away from that and kind of focused a little bit too much on the heartbreaking aspects of it, which to the movie's credit, those moments do hit. But I would have liked a little bit more breathing room in between them, because man, it was just gut punch after gut punch. But But yeah, so for me, this one's going to be also a 4 out of 5. Highly recommend it. Be prepared to cry and be in your feels, and probably never want to watch this movie again because it is a heartbreaking watch. But it's one that's executed very well, and one of the better sports movies that we've gotten in a while. Sort of kind of like Warrior. I would kind of put it like in the Warrior category. It's really solid, really good emotional family tale, and the combat sports scenes that we see are really thrilling too. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I gotta take a break before I try and go see it again, or unless someone really wants to see it, I'm like, I need a minute, or just prepare to see me cry at least, because it was a hard movie. But for those of you who have caught it, I know it's a Christmas weekend and stuff, but if you had time in between the shopping, the wrapping, the baking, all that good stuff, let us know what you thought about it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And like Bern and I said, definitely go see this in theaters. It is definitely it's worth the gut. It's worth the gut punches, in all honesty. So, until next time, everyone. Happy holidays. Have a great Christmas, or holiday, whatever you guys want to do. And stay bodacious and keep on ranting for us.
Absolutely, everybody. Be good, be safe, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.